Anyway.
I'm sitting here, I'm cleaning my glasses, and I'm putting them on, I'm taking them off, I'm putting them on, I'm taking them off.
Because you're thinking.
No, what I'm doing is I'm trying to think, I'm trying to see.
We're all on the same. We all know what we're doing.
No, I'm trying to see what's missing in my life. And it just hit me. What's missing in my life is professional wrestling. For the last 15 goddamn, I did it again, I went ahead and cussed. Go ahead and cuss.
We don't care. We don't care. You can say whatever you want to say.
15 years I've been sitting on my ass feeling sorry for myself about not being around the world of professional wrestling. About a year ago I started going to shows with my son and my friend here. And I didn't like what I saw. I didn't like to see all the untalented, overbearing, obnoxious, pig-faced bastards who don't even know how to wrestle, let alone get in the ring. I am about to change that. I have a proposition for Frankie Reyes. 25 plus years in the business. Trained by the greatest wrestler of all time, the great Malenko. Well, as everybody knows, the great Malenko also trained the superstar. And if anybody knows what the superstar is in this area, they know that it's Bob Cook. And if you know who Bob Cook is, then you're a real goddamn wrestling fan. I may not have been the biggest star in the world, but you know who the hell I am. And on the 27th in Ruskin, Frankie Reyes is going to put on a show in honor of the great Malenko.
Great,
fantastic idea.
Memorial show.
The greatest wrestler I ever wrestled in my life was Dean Malenko, his son. And I've wrestled them all. From Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, and the rest, Dean was the best. But Malenko, there was something special about the great Malenko. Boris Malenko, Larry Simon, everybody knows what I'm talking about. There's a lot of people that come around in the world that don't mean nothing to nobody, but the great Malenko meant everything to me. He was like a father figure to me. And Frankie Reyes is going to do a memorial to him. I said to myself, I got to be there for this show. I got to be there. It's a tribute. It's an honor of the great Malenko. It doesn't matter if it's in the backyard of someone's house. If it's an honor of the great Malenko, Bob Cook, the superstar, has to be there. But I thought to myself, what can we do to make it even extra special?
Hence, the night of drinking and thinking.
Thinking. And it came to me just like that. My son, the reckless Robbie Cook right here, and my friend Bruiser Bronson, we came up with a brainstorm and we thought, what could we do on June 27th in Ruskin to make the Malenko Memorial special? And what we can do is we can take and we can challenge the James boys, Luke and Rich, to a match, a tag team match, winner take all, with Frankie Reyes as the referee. I'm not going to go into details of the past between me and Frankie. We know what it is. He knows what it is. But it's got to happen on the 27th because it's an honor of the great Malenko. It means everything to me. Malenko's still in my heart. I think about him every day. There's not a day that goes by that I don't actually think about the great Malenko one time or another. And I know that may not sound like anything to you people, but to me, it still means something to me. And on the 27th, we're going to make it mean even more. Because we're going to challenge the James boys to a tag team match, like I just said, winner take all. And the reason I'm going to do this, because I don't think there's any better way to honor the great Malenko. Do you hear what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
To be at ringside, as Malenko's favorite student, as Malenko's best student, Bob Cook, to be at ringside, I trained my son, I trained Bruiser Bronson, and Malenko trained me, so in turn, Malenko trained them too. Get where I'm going? Because what Malenko showed me, I showed them, and he showed me everything. And I think there's no better way to honor the great Malenko than to take the James boys, guys that were not trained by the great Malenko, and have them beat 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring by guys that were trained and loved the great Malenko. Malenko used to know my son when he was a young child, when he was this big. He'd put his hand on his shoulder and say, son, you're going to be something someday because I can see you have the same heart and drive in the professional wrestling business as your father does. And we're going to prove it on the 27th, providing Frankie Reyes and the James boys have the guts to accept our challenge, which I doubt they do, but if they do, we're going to be there. Even if they don't, we're going to be there. And we might just make them. We might just make them.
I think we have
If they say they're not going to do it, if they say the James boys are going to wrestle the Highwaymen again, blah, 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 the Highwaymen are great. I've known Butch Long for a long time. He's a great wrestler. Mark Mandrake, great wrestler. But they've wrestled enough. They've wrestled enough. And they can wrestle again, but not the 27th, because that is the day I said, James boys against my boys, me at ringside, Frankie Reyes as a referee, just in case you get out of line like you did every time I lost a match, Frankie. Every time. It doesn't matter if it was for a tag team, singles match, championship, non-championship, you screwed me. But you're not going to do it again. I'm going to be there at ringside. And if you remember correctly, last time I took my glasses off with this mask on and I faced you, I knocked you out. And I'm not above doing it again, you son of a bitch. I'm not above it. So accept this challenge like man. For once in your life, you old bastard. Accept the challenge. Ruskin, 27th Great Malenko Memorial, Great Malenko Tribute, Great Malenko Cup. And I'm going to be in that Battle Royal too, the Alumni Battle Royal, and I'm going to win that too. And I'm going to give all the money to charity. I'm going to give it all to charity because that's the kind of guy I am. I'm a nice guy. I'm actually a nice guy. I'm a bastard sometimes, but I'm a nice guy.
Great guy.
That's right. What
do you have to say about the boys?
I love my Mountain Dew.
See, you guys, I'm making some noise in Florida.
You bastards.
Whoop did he do? You see,
One of them can't.
I agree. You see, we've been wrestling for years, going unnoticed. Time for us.
This young man here's been wrestling for over 5 years, since he was 17 years old.
You see, I'm tired of wrestling guys who don't have the heart or the spirit. See, James, boys, I don't think you guys might not have the spirit either.
I think he's tired of wrestling guys that would rather sit at the all-you-can-eat buffet, guys that don't know how to tie their boots, guys that look in the mirror and tell themselves they're great when they're nothing but crap. That's what he's sick and tired of wrestling. That's why we're challenging the James boys, because besides the Highwaymen, the James boys are the best that Frankie has. Besides the Highwaymen, they're the best he has, and we want to take on the best, and we're going to beat the best, and we're going to show the rest why these guys are the new tag team of the future. And I'm going to put my glasses on right now because I see the future. The future is not too pretty for you, Reyes, you son of a bitch.